Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Kent Jacobs. I'm president of FLYHT. I'm joined with Alana Forbes, our CFO, and Michael Fang, our VP of Chinese operations. Just a quick note that there are some forward-looking statements in the presentation we're about to give. A quick introduction to FLYHT Aerospace. We have been in business for a little over 20 years, primarily providing SATCOM and data analysis, real-time data analysis for aircraft. This is done through avionics products that we put on the aircraft and through software that we run on the ground. We were expert in that data analysis. Over the last couple of years with the COVID problems and the pandemic, we've been shifting our focus to become more of a SaaS company, and that's what we're going to talk about in this presentation. The quote on the screen from Barry Eccleston, a retired CEO, Airbus America CEO, identified that FLYHT is in a unique position to be able to make this transformation as a SaaS company into recurring revenue, into more of a recurring revenue world, because of our expertise in the industry and the way that we've progressed over those 20 years. One of the things that we've noticed in aviation, after listening to our customers and with the benefit of the last couple of years, is that airlines want more action. They don't want to find out that there are problems that occurred 2 months ago within their operation and that they lost money, that they lost an opportunity. They want to know how to change, how to affect their operations today, right now, in the next hour. And the quote from WestJet there describes it really nicely. We need to change the actions to prevent the cost, not find out about it later. And that's the focus that FLYHT is taking. We've been in that world for the past 20 years, but we're moving more towards that, more towards it in a SaaS and a recurring revenue perspective. The industry has long had too much data. I think people are probably aware that most modern aircraft that are coming from Boeing or Airbus right now can generate several gigabytes worth of data in 1 hour of flying. That is so much information, but it doesn't directly supply the airline with information, with action, with intelligence as what to do next, or what to do at that moment. FLYHT is a data specialist. That is our background. For 20 years, we've been doing that on-wing data collection and analysis. What we're doing now is moving into the world of artificial intelligence, into the world of machine learning, where we can actually provide guidance to the airlines in real time as they need that information. The platform that FLYHT has developed over the last 2 years is described here, and there are 5 points that I'll be stepping through. It's the new AFIRS Edge hardware that we built, the AWS partnership, the CETA partnership, the purchase of a company in Europe called CrossConsense, and the purchase of the water vapor sensing system. All of these combine into the platform, into the future, the way that FLYHT is moving forward as a recurring revenue company. The AFIRS Edge is an avionics product that gets installed on the aircraft, so that it's installed inside the Boeing or the Airbus aircraft. This is our 3rd generation AFIRS product. And this one has some significant improvements over the past 2, along with all of the features that we've dealt with in the past, the SATCOM, the real-time analysis, the ability to record the FDR data. We now add these new features. We have a wireless QAR function. QAR is just the FDR file. That's all the data that's recorded throughout the course of the flight. We've got a 3G, 4G, 5G radio in this product that lets us, for very little money, transmit that data off the aircraft once it's landed for the airline to use however they see fit, or for us to use however the airline sees fit. We have features like an aircraft interface device, which provides that same data to the flight deck, to the cockpit of the aircraft in flight. We've always been an Iridium partner. We've always provided Iridium service, real-time global connectivity wherever an aircraft is around the world, and we're continuing that with this product. But this product also has things like a Bluetooth capability. So IoT devices, IoT products that an airline may want to incorporate into their operations can use the AFIRS Edge to get that data off the aircraft. An avionics data loader is a fairly specific piece of equipment that some airlines or many airlines need. We reuse all of the existing avionics software that was developed for the previous product. That's important because it really cut the research and development cost and time of this product. And as I mentioned, we're focusing on becoming a SaaS billing company. We're targeting things like $250 per month per aircraft for the basic features, not the full set, just the basic set. I talked about the partnerships that FLYHT has developed over the last couple of years. So during the pandemic, FLYHT invested heavily into cloud infrastructure and our work with Amazon Web Services. We chose Amazon as the right product, the right company for us to work with because of their expertise, not only in the cloud, but also with their artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities. So FLYHT completed the AWS Travel and Hospitality Competency Check. And this is an important thing. FLYHT's relationship with AWS moved up several levels once we completed this competency, and they are now supporting us in our sales activities and making recommendations for us directly to airlines that they see fit. This is the partnership level that most companies don't achieve. They also provided us with a formal approach to our data management and our data governance. This is really important for a company that deals with data, aircraft data. You can imagine the sensitivity of that data, the importance and the volume of it. FLYHT has also partnered with SITA. SITA is an air transport communication and information technology company. They are a giant. They are one of two of the largest companies in the world dealing with that air transportation communication. And you see at the bottom of the slide, they have over 400 airline customers and they support over 18,000 aircraft. So FLYHT now has a partnership with SITA developed over the last year and a half, where we can purchase from them the Iridium Certus connectivity, but we also have the ability to resell the SITA Aircom cockpit service products. And we have a relationship with SITA to allow us to work together on sales efforts. So SITA can provide us with opportunities at airlines where we approach together, and we're much more powerful that way. These are opportunities that would be very difficult for a company the size of FLYHT to get on their own. And it's worth noting that SITA is not a hardware provider. So the AFIRS Edge product that we've built is also of interest to SITA because it enables many of their products that they want to run on an aircraft. Another big event that happened at FLYHT over the last year is the purchase of a company called CrossConsents in Frankfurt, Germany. FLYHT specializes in real-time aircraft data, avionics on the aircraft, and of course, the SaaS revenue that we generate from the products we provide to the airlines. We're a global company, but we're underrepresented in Europe. CrossConsents is a company that is expert in the aircraft maintenance systems. They do the software that allows airlines to run the maintenance programs for their aircraft. They are roughly 80% recurring revenue, and they have primarily a European client base. So you can see the beautiful mix of the two companies. FLYHT provides the opportunity for the operational data, for all of the operational information that an airline needs to run. CrossConsents focuses on the maintenance side of the operation. Both companies are focused on recurring revenue. You can see the quality of the customers that CrossConsents brings: EasyJet, Lufthansa, Swiss. These are not trivial airlines. These are major players in the world. Aligning the two companies gives us an unmatched data set. This is really important. We've got the operational information and we've got the maintenance information. This is very difficult even for airlines within their own organization to coordinate sometimes. Now FLYHT has the ability to look at both those sets of data and provide the actionable intelligence solutions that the airlines are looking for. With CrossConsents, we got a talented leadership team that came with the purchase of the company. We have limited overlap with the two companies, similar company cultures, and we see this as a great way to enhance the financial profile. The two companies are working really well together. The acquisition is complete. It was a great move. And you can see immediately how from 2021 to 2022, our European presence went from 3% to 20%. That was a a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to cross-sell our FLYHT products into Europe with the acquisition of CrossConsense. FLYHT has always been in the business of gathering weather data off of aircraft. So as an aircraft takes off and as an aircraft descends, it has the ability, if you have a system like ours, to collect weather data and transmit it to the ground, and it acts like a weather balloon. It acts like it's an observation that can be incorporated into many of the models around the world, the weather models that are doing predictions of future weather. FLYHT has a TAMDAR product, which we purchased about 5 or 6 years ago, but we've expanded that now with the FLYHT WVSS2, which is a more sensitive relative humidity probe. So this probe can be installed on the outside of the aircraft, and then as the aircraft is climbing and descending, relative humidity values are captured, transmitted to the ground with the other weather data. And this is the goal. This is what the weather models around the world are looking for, relative humidity. So we have an existing weather business. It's growing, it's profitable. All the SaaS revenue from that weather data is paid for by government bodies. The addition of the WVSS, this new probe, allows us to now collect that data across a larger set of aircraft and expand our footprint into those weather models around the world. You can see from here that FLYHT is focusing on SaaS, on recurring revenue. Our last 12 months from the FLYHT side of the company, we had 53% SaaS. That's growing every year. We're making a focus a little bit away from the hardware directly towards the SaaS opportunities. We always have our licensing and technical services. And you can see CrossConsense, 80% recurring revenue already. Worth noting that 65% gross margin on our SaaS revenues. So why should we be on your screen? What's the reason for looking for FLYHT? We have the new Avionics product, the AFIRS Edge. It solves the 2G, 3G obsolescence problem that is around the world and is going to be affecting airlines now. We're going right by 4G LTE directly into the 5G world. We've partnered with major players in the world. AWS, Amazon Web Services, and CETA are now formal partners of FLYHT's working together with customer opportunities. We purchased and we're looking to expand with new purchases. We purchased CrossConsense, a complementary company that brings new opportunities for FLYHT. We've continued our exclusive airborne weather capabilities, so we have a new relative humidity sensor probe that allows us to continue with the opportunities for the aircraft-based observations. We're always continuing down the organic and inorganic growth, but now we've got a real focus towards SaaS, towards recurring revenue opportunities. Whether we're doing it internally or we're looking externally for growing, it's got to have a SaaS focus for us. And of course, we have a drive towards environmental, financial, and resource savings for our customers. So I'm going to turn it over now to Alana to give us a quick look at some of the financial information.
Sure. So thanks, Kent. I will just take a high-level view of FLYHT by the numbers. Our rolling 12 months of revenue were about 11 million Canadian. We have a contracted backlog of 24 million Canadian. We've about half of that is in recurring revenues, about half of it is hardware. In signed contracts that we have yet to deliver the revenue on, it's more like about twice that number. But since the pandemic, we've been consistently doing a lot of work in scrubbing that number so that we can present what we think is realistically going to convert into revenue over the near to intermediate term. Given a lot of our customers, a lot of airlines, plans have changed and continue to change through the pandemic as different waves hit different geographies at different times and in different market segments. Recurring revenue is really important for us heading forwards. As Kent mentioned, 53% last year of our revenues were recurring, and those recurring revenues are carrying gross margins of in excess of 65%. The good news with our solution is it's really sticky. Once our customers sign on for our services, what we see in the 5% that we don't retain is restructuring within the industry. If an airline goes through Chapter 11, but a lot of times our hardware still remains on those aircraft. The aircraft goes back to the lessor and is released to another airline who they take delivery of that aircraft and they say, you know, what is this AFIRS system on board and how can it support my data needs and my informational actionable intelligence needs going forward? And they'll often give us a call or we'll find them and we'll be able to reconvert that aircraft back into our recurring revenue stream. We did some work when we were particularly early on in the pandemic with our customers that we were partnering with to launch our Actionable Intelligence solutions. And together with those customers, we were able to come to the conclusion that they anticipated an 800% ROI on those solutions, which is a pretty compelling offering. FLYHT's been around for 23 years. We have a lot of experience in the space. And over that time, our customers have flown 3 million flights, and that translates to about 4.6 hours of voice and data recurring services.
Thanks, Alana. Next, Michael's going to talk about flight opportunities in the China market.
Thanks, Kent. We are very excited about potential opportunity happening in China. Given what happened in China recently, Aviation Authority wants more safety measures in place to ensure that the flight operation can be more safe. And flight new technology fits perfectly in current mandate policy in China. You're looking at the screen, there are 3 projects is now going on. The first one is a FLYHT WVSS. The reason why that's important is that China, the legendary airborne weather system, data connection with that was not very accurate, simply because they don't have a vapor data. And that's how the FLYHT WVSS system can fit in. We're currently going to have the lab test in May at the CAC, which is Aviation Authority lab. And then we plan to have August, the first installation going on. So we're expecting to see about 300 to 500 aircraft installation plus recurring revenue based on the budget. Government budget process. And the second is Aeromax Technology. Aeromax is the IQ designated frequency designated for airport communication. Chinese Airport Authority used to have a public mobile system to transmit important flight information. And they think that this is not safe. So they had to use Aeromax as a secure private network to carry the flight information. Currently, the ground system already installed on major airports, about 50 airports in China. And they need airborne avionics to get another piece of a puzzle fit in. We are expecting that about 500 aircraft installed Aeromax system in place, and a FLYHT Edge product is already like a plug and play system to accommodate this chipset. The last one is 4G, 5G QAR. QAR is a system that allows airlines and aviation authority to collect the aircraft data at every end of a flight. However, since such a technology was mandated in China about 20 years ago, and the authority realized that some of the airport, they have a 3G system, it's too old, they have to phase out. And the new airport doesn't have 3G in place at all. So there must be have QAR upgrade, and FLYHT Edge can fit in this upgrade perfectly. And we are expecting about a 2,000 upgrade in next 6 to 7 years, which is subsidized by authority. Back to you, Ken.
Thank you, Michael. That's great.
And we're able to address any questions with Gilbert. But
Sure, yeah.
Great.
This is from Grace. Do you need to raise capital in the near future, and what's the burn rate?
We have, so our last raise of funds was last July. We raised 6.6 million. And that funding was to support us a bit during the pandemic, number one. And then number two, we also we were looking at pursuing inorganic growth. So we had several M&A opportunities just prior to that we were looking at funding. And we're in a similar position today. So we do have cash reserves to get us to meet our operational need. But I would say that there are several M&A opportunities that we continue to evaluate and might be looking at in the future that might require some additional funding. So I guess we'll see. It all depends on how our future plans pan out.
Sure. One last question here from Oscar. He said, will you benefit, this is probably obvious, but will you benefit by seeing the world reopening now step by steps, meaning more flights will be administered in the future?
Absolutely. Look, as the world reopens, as the industry, as the aviation industry comes back, it seems to come back in different geographic regions at different times. We're always at the mercy of another wave of COVID, but yeah, we're well positioned. As our customers are coming back, they're coming back stronger, and they're looking for the new opportunities from us.
Okay, thank you for the trio here for your time. Ken, Delano, and Michael here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.